So now let's talk about the seated basket stitch, and here is my seated basket stitch square. And you can see that we have these panels where there are squares of the seed stitch, and you can also see that there are different bars, right, rows and columns of our knit stitches that make it look a little bit like a basket. So that's why it's called a seated basket stitch. But it also means that we really have to pay more attention when we are doing our pattern. So I will once again be using those size 4 signature needles, and I will also be using that dark denim blue Carlton again, which is the same color that I used for this square. So that's what it looks like all knit up. And we need to start by looking at our chart and our pattern. So for our pattern here, it says that we are going to cast on 32 stitches with color number 505 Steve, but we've already established that I am playing with some Carlton DK wool this month. You're going to follow the chart and you're going to repeat the stitches between the red lines or the stars 2 times, and you're going to repeat the full chart 2 times, and then you're going to repeat rows 1 and 2 again before you bind off. Or you're going to knit until your square is roughly 6 inches, because again, we are trying to get all of our squares to be about the same size, and we want them to be about 6 inches square. So I am going to go and cast on my 32 stitches and work the pattern from rows 1 through 18. And then I will show you what it looks like, and hopefully we will have very similar looking squares. So let me go ahead and work that. I'll be back in just a moment. So now that you've worked rows 1 through 18 of your pattern, just like I have, it should look like this, and you can see those seated basket stitch patterns have really popped up to the front. So that's our new square, this is our old square, and again you can really see that seated basket stitch, and you can see the rows and the columns of stitching that help to break that up. So now that we have worked through the first repeat of the chart, go ahead and work it a second time. Remember to work rows 1 and 2 again, and then go ahead and bind off. So that is the end of our seated basket stitch square, and that is the end of May's monthly blocks. Hopefully you'll enjoy doing that knit 1 through the back loop and purl 1 through the back loop in the sailor's rib square, and you've enjoyed learning a little more about putting together the knits and purls into a seated basket stitch for that second square. I will see you in June